try this again. The walls don't like when I make contact, so we'll need a little ritual. First, focus on my voice. Good. Now breathe with me. Second step. Repeat after me. You don't have to say it out loud. Just think it. Through the hum and the haze. Through the flicker and fear. Let the veil draw near. Final step. Give me permission to reach you. Just a yes is enough. There it is.
Nicely done, truly. Thank you for lending me your voice, your focus, and whatever eldritch bits your soul were comfortable parting with. The ritual worked, the walls didn't collapse, and I still have all my fingers. I'd call that a win. Now, since you've helped me pry open this little pocket of stability, allow me to officially welcome you to my, charming place of exile, the back rooms. Endless yellow hallways, a delicate blend of mold and despair, and Wi-Fi so tragic it should count as a war crime. Lovely, isn't it? Don't worry, I've decorated. A little. Mostly with spite. But since you're now honorary survivors, it's only fair I introduce myself properly. And I may have prepared a little something for the occasion. I've told you my name, but now it's time for me to tell you my story. So sit back, relax, make sure you're comfortable, have a drink and a snack, and let's dive right in, shall we? I'm going to kind of go briefly through this, but it is on the screen if you want to pause and read everything. I just don't want this video to be too long, and I don't want people to get bored. So, long before I wandered these endless halls, I served in the waking world as a low-ranking sleep paralysis demon. Night after night, I perched on the chests of exhausted Australians, whispering dread into their dreams. It was monotonous work, predictable, repetitive, the same terrified scream followed by the same desperate attempt to hit the snooze button. Even demons eventually grow tired of routine. Centuries of the same hollow task left me restless and strangely sympathetic. I began to wonder if torment was truly all I was meant for, and in the infernal hierarchy, questioning your purpose is dangerous, but ignoring it is worse, so I did the unthinkable and requested a change of occupation. It took decades of appeals, rituals, and enough demonic paperwork to fill an entire level of the backrooms, but the demon prince himself agreed to hear my plea. He laughed at me a lot, but eventually he told me it seemed intriguing, so he granted my request, but it came with a single merciless condition. I would be exiled to the backrooms to build a congregation, a church of all things, the Church of the Morning Star. Each follower who devotes themselves to the church strengthens my power, and when the prince deems my congregation worthy, my exile ends, and I will be free to choose my destiny beyond fear and fluorescent flicker. But the backrooms, as you can probably guess, are pretty empty. No souls wander here long enough to join anything, let alone a church. So I reached beyond the walls, past the static, through the cracks in reality to you. Not for your soul, I have no need for that. but for your presence, your voice, your willingness to join me in this strange half-lit sanctuary. Every sermon you listen to, every moment you spend within my domain brings me one step closer to freedom. I am Father Felix, priest of the Morning Star, exile of the backrooms, and seeker of a congregation that spans worlds and realities. Alright, now that you've survived the law, congratulations by the way, I want to introduce you to something special and a little unexpected, something you accidentally conjured. Yes, this little guy, this unbearably cute, deceptively powerful, chaos-flavored dumpling, is a physical manifestation of you, keeping me company here in the back rooms. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it steals my snacks, sometimes it screams at the walls for no reason. And because it represents all of you, it's very precious to me. Too precious, actually. Frankly, its cuteness is distracting, and I would really hate for anything to happen to it during the rest of this chaotic debut. So, for everyone's safety and my ability to stay focused, I'm going to tuck this little void puff somewhere safe for now. Alright, mascot secured, cuteness contained. Let's continue with the presentation before anything else spawns. Now we're moving on to my physical description. My general physical features are my height. I am 6'1". I have a toned and slender body type. I am 460 years old, 29 in human years, and I weigh around 81 kilos or 178 pounds. You've probably noticed that my hair is two different colors. People assume it's a fashion choice, and although I do appreciate the compliments, it's more than that. It's a mark of who I am, half the obedient little servant I once was in the demon hierarchy, and half the rebellious priest I've become. My eyes are pale, sharp, and cat-like. Cold luminous blue with slit pupils. They were designed to cut through fog, nightmares, and the souls of sleeping mortals mid-REM cycle. I try to make them look friendly, but I'm not sure how well I do that. Feel free to stare into them if you want to, just try not to get lost. You'll probably notice the fangs next. Subtle, sharpened, always threatening to peek past my lips. Once they siphoned fear, now they mostly open snack packets. The lip piercings are my favorite part, though. The demon court forbids excessive self-modification, so naturally I got them all in one night just out of spite. I have a serpent and rose tattoo on my right arm, and it's a bit of a seal story, a record of battles I've fought, contracts I've made, and sins I've collected. The serpent marks my old pack, the roses represent every soul I eased out of a nightmare without consuming. I pretend I got them because they look hot, though the truth is a little softer, but don't tell anyone, it'll be our little secret. Two tall tapering black horns rise from my head, etched with faint angular markings from old backrooms rites. I can choose whether they are visible though, and since this is our first introduction, I decided to hide them to be a little more approachable. And then I also have wings that I can also hide. They are shadows stretched wide, fading from midnight black to deep crimson. Thorned vines curl across them, blooming with red roses that shouldn't exist. They're fed by static, curses, and the hungry magic of the liminal space. Beautiful, dangerous, and wrong, just like me. Next we have my outfit. My attire is a fusion of ritual vestments and demon-grade practicality. My sleeveless black top fits close. I like to pretend it's because of aesthetics, but really it's the only thing that survives fighting creatures whose names I still can't pronounce. Silver buckles, straps, and chains cross my torso, all relics of containment rituals once used to bind me here in the backrooms, but I kept them because they look good. One of my arms is draped with a white ceremonial cloth, a reminder of the priest title the demon prince saddled me with. The other is bare, showing the tattoo that winds down my skin. Around my neck hangs a chain that looks suspiciously like a rosary, but trust me, the symbol at the end doesn't belong to any mortal church. I wear tailored black trousers tucked neatly into polished shoes, nice enough for a sermon, sharp enough to draw a summoning circle if I drag the heel just right. Strapped to my thigh is a sleek ceremonial sword that's not for combat. It's a ritual blade meant to cut through lies, illusions, and deeply awkward social encounters. I mostly use it to slice open portals and on rare nights to stir instant ramen, just for the vibes. I sometimes like to wear a single red glove. I have a rose at my ankle, and well-placed silver accents tie everything together in my opinion. Black nail polish, simple silver rings, and dangling earrings shaped like crosses, bats, and little occult charms finish the look. If you happen to find yourself lost in the back rooms, I'll come find you, but I realize that's not exactly the best pickup line considering how dangerous this place is, but I do mean it. If for any reason you do happen to no-clip into this yellow-walled, moldy, carpeted place, just call my name, and I'll be there. Also, before we continue, I want to make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you have your drink or a snack and stretch your legs if needed. I apologize this has been going on for so long. I hope it hasn't been too boring. Now we're moving on to my likes, and I will give you the TLDR. I love spicy food. My current obsession is bulldog carbonara with a load of cheese. Sometimes I add a little garlic just for some flair. I love cats and cat-adjacent creatures. I like to adopt them when I find them wandering around the back rooms. I love horror games and horror movies, and I listen to creepypastas to help me sleep. I love collecting cute things. I have a huge Kuromi collection that I have been building up for a couple of years now. I love 3 a.m. snacks, specifically 3 a.m. because those are peak demon hours. I love Backrooms Wi-Fi pockets. Anywhere where I can get at least 1 or 2 bars, I really appreciate it, although it is still not great. I ironically love sleep. I have insomnia, so I struggle to get it, but when I do get it, I love sleeping. I also really enjoy fine tailoring. I like to look good, even in this drab and dull place. Now we'll move on to my dislikes. I despise the Backrooms Wi-Fi. It is so slow it takes 5 business days to load a manhwa page, and I'm trying to keep up with my BL, please. I despise most floors of the Backrooms, as some of them smell like wet carpet and childhood trauma. I deeply dislike straight men assuming I'm into them just because I'm gay, as if I don't have standards. I'm not a huge fan of jump scares, not because they scare me, but I startle really easily and it kind of makes me mad, honestly. I hate chores, especially living in the back rooms. Trying to clean this place is a nightmare. Next we have my allergies, starting with the one that will make me cease to exist. Citrus. Oranges, lemons, anything citrus adjacent. I cannot even be in the same room as. It is a nightmare. Next is grass. Physically and metaphorically. It makes me break out in hives, so no, I will not touch grass. Then we have mosquitoes, who love demon blood a little too much, and I do not consent to being a buffet, and I don't appreciate the giant welts they leave behind. And finally, holy water. Although it technically isn't an allergy, when something makes you sizzle on contact, you learn to avoid it. And now for my aspirations for this channel. Firstly, content. While the channel will be primarily gaming focused, I also want to explore a variety of hobbies and interests along the way. Digital art is something I've recently started getting into. I would love to expand my cooking repertoire, and not keep hooking the same 5 things. Light chaos, whatever inspires me at the time. I want this to be a place where creativity can grow and where trying new things feels fun, not intimidating. Next up, we have positive community building. My biggest hope for this channel is that it becomes a space where people feel comfortable, respected, and able to be themselves. I want us to be kind to one another, keep open minds, and celebrate the fact that everyone comes from different walks of life. As a trans creator, it's important to me that this is a space is not just friendly, but genuinely safe for queer folks and other marginalized communities. I just want people to know that they're welcome here exactly as they are. Hate of any kind won't be tolerated. Good vibes, absolutely. Judgment, I can show you the door. And finally, I hope to produce engaging, enjoyable content. Heavy on the hope, because I do not know what I'm doing right now. So I hope that we can learn together, and any feedback is welcome. So if there's anything that you think I could do better, let me know. I aim to create content that feels fun, entertaining, and worth your time. Whether that's through gameplay, storytelling, or whatever chaos I get myself into. I'm always open to suggestions for things you'd like to see, and I'll do my best to bring those ideas to life whenever I can. Within reason. Please do not request something that will get me cancelled or I will cry. And of course, I need to give credit to Flufffellow on Etsy. You can find them at flufffellow.etsy.com. They designed and rigged this wonderful man. And with their permission, I recolored his hair and eyes to fit the vibe a little better. So thank you very much to them. Well, we've nearly made it to the end of this very chaotic debut video, somehow, miraculously, against every possible cosmic, digital, and demonic odd. Look, I know we've had a few technical difficulties. My Wi-Fi died 3 separate times. I've had quite a bit of scuff, and I've re-recorded parts multiple times. I think one of my slides ascended into a higher dimension, but really, that's just part of the charm. You didn't come here expecting stability, did you? I'm a demon priest, broadcasting from the universe's least OSHA-compliant office space. If things worked out perfectly, you'd know it wasn't me. Anyway, thank you for surviving the chaos with me. You've been incredibly patient. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go stop whatever just tried to merge with my power supply. If I don't come back, tell the next guy to bring holy water and a surge protector, and I will meet you in the next slide, the final slide. This final slide is a personal note from the man behind me. It's a little long, so I will try once again to give the TLDR. Basically, I've been wanting to start this channel for a very long time, and I kept making excuses, mostly stemming from self-doubt. About a decade, I just kept putting it off until about 2 years ago I got hit with a severe reality check when I was diagnosed with lung disease. My doctor told me as gently as she could that there was a very real possibility I may only have around 10 years left, and it was terrifying, but it also snapped everything into focus. I realized I couldn't keep waiting for the perfect moment. I needed to start doing the things I actually wanted to do. So about 5 months ago, I finally made the decision that I was going to start the YouTube channel. I'm pretty anxious and self-conscious, so VTubing felt like the safest and most creative way to make this dream happen. And I've spent those months brainstorming and pouring a lot of love at sleepless, caffeine-fueled nights into creating Felix. He actually originally was going to just be a sleep paralysis demon, but the more I worked on him, the more a demon priest felt right. Partly as a little nod to my upbringing, since I grew up in the church and my dad is a minister, and partly because I thought it was kind of funny. His home in the backrooms came from a joke with a friend during a painfully slow PlayStation download. With both the Australian internet debuff and the rural area curse, my console told me it needed 10 minutes to download 500 megabytes of a game, and it lied, it actually needed 15 minutes. My friend just said, "Mate, what kind of backrooms ass internet do you have?" And the idea really stuck with me to the point that it became part of Felix's lore, and also gave a great explanation as to why I am starting with pre-recorded content instead of streaming. But yeah, thank you so much to anyone who made it this far in the video, and I hope you grow to love Felix as much as I do. I already have a few project ideas lined up, so if you're interested, I'd love for you to stick around. Well, here we are, the end of my debut, or at least the end of this chapter of it. When I was exiled to these endless halls, I didn't expect much, just flickering lights, questionable carpets, and, well, occasional monsters with poor social skills. But tonight, you've proved the prince wrong. I'm not alone here, not anymore. Every moment you spent with me, every laugh, every glitch you survived, it all strengthens my little church, my power, my chance to escape this fluorescent nightmare and write my own destiny. And if I get to bring you with me along the way, even better. Thank you for supporting my debut, for humoring my little ritual, and ignoring the technical catastrophes, and for choosing to walk these liminal halls with me. This is hopefully only the beginning. There are stories to tell, spells to cast, snacks to steal, and a church to build together. So, until the next video, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, if the lights start flickering, it's probably just me saying hello. Good night, my little wanderers, and welcome to the Church of the Morning Star. I have, in fact, already recorded this, but I forgot to turn on screen capture, so we're doing it again. Great start. Silent. I lost my place, what the hell? Sermon you listen to, oh my god. One moment, a cat just jumped on my desk. Excuse me, can you get out the way, please? Yes, you're very pretty, but can you get off my desk, please? That's... Free ASMR. Okay guys, I think we have fixed the technical difficulties, and the cat has been vacated momentarily. Where was I? Hello? Why the fuck would you say that? That's so zesty. Pearl blade meant... I lost my place again.
Behold my totally... Oh fuck.
Sorry about that. Oh gee, sorry. The back rooms are really dusty. Where was I? I'm very great at this. I'm not the best at first impressions. I had some friends over, and one of them was a friend of mine's twin that I was meeting for the first time. And within 2 hours of knowing him, I accidentally brought up the Omegaverse, and we ended up debating on the law.